Hello, my name's Chris. I'm going to show you today about speeding up your computer, which is from my blog, chriscomputertips.wordpress.com. There's a few tools I use. First thing I'm going to show you is Registry Smoker. Registry Smoker is a very inexpensive program that helps you clean out your registry. What happens is Windows uses the registry keys to run everything, store information in there for all the programs. What happens, it gets clogged up from time to time because it doesn't remove a lot of the registry keys that it's not using anymore. So Registry Smoker goes through and gets rid of those ones that you don't need anymore, thus speeding up your computer. The Registry Smoker has a free trial. You can also purchase it for a very low price. I highly recommend it. So I'm going to go right in the program here. I went ahead and installed it already. It has two options, Safe Scan and Deep Scan. Safe Scan does like a quick scan of your system. I always prefer to do the Deep Scan. We're going to go ahead and begin this and let that run. Okay. Another tool that I use is error checking and defragmentation. Now we're going to go into C drive here. This is Windows 8, so it's actually under this PC. I'm going to right click on local disk C, and I'm going to choose to go to properties. And there's properties. Okay, and you'll notice a few different things right here. Under the general tab, there's disk cleanup. This will go through and get rid of a lot of temp files, a lot of, empty the recycle bin, a lot of files you don't need. That's going to take a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and jump over here to Tools. And you can do error checking is the first thing to check for errors on your hard drive. Now some systems will have you reboot, and it'll do it upon booting up and go ahead and scan your whole hard drive. If you get little errors on your hard drive, that can slow it down as well. So I'm going to let that, it's actually going to take a little while, so I'm not going to go ahead and scan the whole thing. We'll go ahead and cancel that out. And the other thing I do is the defragment. Usually after I do error checking and running Registry Smoker and also running Malwarebytes, then I'll go ahead and do a defragment as kind of the last thing. So while that's canceling, I'm going to go ahead and open up Malwarebytes. This is another great program I highly recommend to go ahead and make sure your computer is free of viruses, because that will slow your computer down a lot. So let me go ahead and say yes to this. And there's Registry Smoker. Okay, so when you install this, it's going to ask you to update the database, which is the database is right here. This one is up to date now, but it's very important you keep that up to date. By the way, Malwarebytes is a free program. So let me go ahead and I'm going to do a scan now. And this is going to scan everything on the computer. It'll go through all these steps. Now this could take a lot of time depending on how much information you have on your computer. When it's done, it will show you a full list of everything and give you recommendations of what to do with it. A lot of times quarantine is what it'll do with a lot of the files. So we're going to let that scan for a minute, and we're going to go back to Registry Smoker. As we can see, it found 2 errors already. So I'm not going to let it go through all the way just for sake of this video. I'm going to go ahead and stop the scan and just show you an example of when it's done. It'll be at this point, and you want to select all items. That'll select everything in the list. You want to delete selected items. And then you're going to say, okay, it says 0 were not removed, which means it removed all of them. And once you run this, you'll probably see a substantial speed increase in your computer, depending on if you've ever run this on your computer before. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. And we're going to go into the defragment here. You just click on Optimize. And it'll show you here, here's your C drive. Mine's only 1% fragmented because I do this on a regular basis. And your system reserve, which is another part of your hard drive, it says it's 17% fragmented. So what you can do is you can do an analyze, and it'll kind of show you how fragmented it is, give you like a picture. I like to just go on in and do optimize. Now this is going to take a substantial amount of time. I would recommend you do this in the evening. So those are some of the main tools that I use. There's also another thing you can do to speed up your computer is you can go into your task manager. I'm going to show you, this is Windows 8, so I'm going to give an example on 8, task manager. And whenever this comes up, there is a tab up here. You can look at your startup programs, things that would be running in the background. Okay, and you see at the top here is a startup tab. These are all the programs that start up when you turn on your computer, when you boot into Windows. Now, some of them you might not know exactly what they are. Intel, Microsoft, these type of things you probably want to leave alone. The things you know you use that you want opened is fine. This is my Just Cloud backup. I have that run when it comes up, and my antivirus. Like Skype here, this is an example. You can click on this and click disable, and that will disable it next time you boot up. I'm going to go ahead and re-enable it because I use Skype quite a bit. So there's a lot of different things you can do to shut down, to keep from starting up when you go into Windows. The other thing is down here, you can show everything that's running at the time. Like for instance, here's Intel HD graphics. That's probably something I don't necessarily need to have open. Skype, unless I'm using it. TeamViewer, I don't really need to have open. A lot of these programs you can just right click and do an exit. So there are the main ways that I keep a computer running as fast as it possibly can. So if you want to read more information about this in detail, please visit my blog at chriscomputertips.wordpress.com, and thank you for watching.